What's the weirdest compliment you've ever been given? In 7th grade, I wore a fanny pack to school to hold stuff like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I played with at lunch. Once while walking down the hallway, an 8th grader I never met before was like, "Dude, I like your fanny pack," gave me a high five, and kept walking. I never saw him again, and miraculously nobody ever picked on me about it. To my face at least. My 4-year-old son told me I smelled like music. When I asked what kind of music, he said, "Music you dance to." Still the best compliment I have received to date. My 3-year-old just tells me I'm a good pooper. I think I prefer yours. A woman I was talking to in my dad's shop thought I was not me but my sister. When I tried to correct her that I am me, she told me, "No, you are not. Insta, my name is fat and has short hair. She is not beautiful like you." Like, WTF lady. WTF. Pandas have feelings too. My friends and I were talking about what kind of potatoes we'd be. One of my best friends told me you'd be a loaded baked potato. People pay extra for that good crap. I certify that as 100% smooth, and there is no way in heck I could come up with that on the spot. That I've the most beautiful eyebrows. Were even asking if I pluck them or what routine I had. BTW, I'm a guy, but NGL. I felt fabulous days after. You look comfortable. Not as in I looked relaxed. She meant I looked comfortable to rest, lean or lay on. At first I asked if she was politely saying I was fat. She explained that I had a look about me of being someone who would comfortable to cuddle with and not hog space or covers. I took it as a compliment. I hope it was. This was a stranger I was having a conversation with during the morning train commute maybe 3 years ago. Came from out of the blue, as well. The pizza who pierced my ears back in August told me my ears were perfect and to call her if anyone said otherwise and she would fight them for me. I bet she says that to all the ears. A coworker once told me that I was a cross between Han Solo and Dr. Bunsen Honeydew from the Muppets. This was in 1998 and I still can't stop thinking about it. Was that supposed to be a compliment? An insult? The worst part is that he was pretty accurate, actually. Not gonna lie, if someone told me I look like a cross between Han Solo and Dr. Honeydew, I'd be so proud. You look like you're good with your elbows, said by a 50-plus-year-old man biking by. He then swung back around telling me I should try out for the local roller derby team. This sounds like a dad directing women to his newly out daughter's roller derby team. When I went to the doctor I juice, they were training a nurse. They were about to draw my blood and the older one poked at my veins. She said I had nice bouncy veins, so they're easy to see and draw blood from. Bouncy veins are awesome. If you're in the medical field you would know. I work retail and was told this by a customer. "You're so nice. You must have been bullied in high school." Fair though. You'd look great in an off-shoulder dress. I'm a guy, but if I ever want to start wearing dresses, I know I'll choose off-shoulder ones. They meant to say you have ice clavicles. Random stranger while I was on a run. Nice neck. I'm not saying I believe in vampires, but I made sure my windows were all locked at night. From a teacher, "You're like a barbed wire fence. Maybe something gets past you, but it leaves tattered pieces behind." I'm not very attentive, but somehow I manage to pick up info I need and use it appropriately. Mine just straight up told me she thinks I'm ADHD, but this way is nicer. "You look ominous," the mailman said to me while I sat on the curb reading Time magazine waiting outside my apartment for the mail to arrive. A lot of people try very hard to look ominous and can't do it. One evening about 12 years ago I was on a bus headed down to the financial district in NYC. I can't remember why we were on a bus instead of taking the subway, as I rarely took buses over the subway. Anyway, there wasn't many people in the bus and every passenger was able to sit in a seat. Directly across from where I was sitting was an elderly Asian woman. She sat there smiling at me for a couple minutes. I wasn't sure if she was smiling at me or just in my direction, so I just smiled back at her. When we reached her stop, she came up to me and said, "You are even more beautiful than Meryl Streep." I was so flattered but also tickled. Meryl Streep is a good 35 years older than me. I never thought of her as a beautiful woman, but that didn't matter because someone did, and they thought I was beautiful too. Considering they were an old lady, they may have thought of a younger Meryl Streep, lol. I went to my 25th high school reunion and a woman I knew then didn't recognize me. When I told her my name, she said, "Oh my gosh, you're so handsome now." You know the definition of the word wholesome? You are my new definition for that. Something along those lines. Kind of weird, but man did it feel good to get it. I couldn't stop smiling. You speak very good English. From a native English speaker to me. I'm from Connecticut. I better speak English well. An old lady once told me she wishes she was 60 years younger, then she would give me some confidence. It was the most unsettling, funniest, and somehow most charming compliment I've ever received. She wanted to give you some tang. I, an 18-year male at the time, was catcalled while walking up the street. The assailant screamed, "You have very good posture, LOL. I think you made some physiotherapist very proud that day." Maybe not the weirdest, but definitely the one most out of left field. I was walking down the street minding my own business and this guy sitting on the corner looks at me and goes, "Everybody get a load of Antonio Banderas over here." Haha, how's IT going, Antonio? I only maybe kinda look like Antonio Banderas, but he's a handsome dude, so I always took it as a compliment. You finally look like a human being. It happens every time I get a haircut, LOL. It was a crowd Australia Day celebration in the city. Crap was getting a bit out of control and everyone had way too much to drink. I tried to walk quietly by a bunch of fairly aggressive troublemakers without attracting attention. One of them shouts out, "Hey everyone, look at that guy. He looks awesome. I want my children to look like him." Freaking everyone stops and looks at me. Some people nod and go, "Yeah. Well, they wouldn't be his children anymore." Context: I'm a pretty skinny guy. No, you're very broad. Girls like that, they're gonna look at you and say, "Now that is a jungle gym and I just want to climb all over." Good to know this compliment for skinny guys is out there waiting to be given. You look like an anime character. Whoa, thanks, that's a great compliment. Yeah, like that show Hellsing, with all the vampires. Well, the vampires were pretty too, including Dracula. Every time I see her, my gynecologist always says, "You have such a cute little cervix." I've had a BF blushingly tell me I have a really cute butthole. Don't make it weird. So I got that going for me. You look gay today by one of my great nan's friends. She had meant happy, but it made me laugh so hard I choked on my drink. Thought she had excellent gaydar. Turns out she just thought I looked happy. I'm petite, so there was one time somebody told me that I must be easy to maneuver. Not sure if that is a compliment. Run. One of my first days at a new job, I hear a co-worker telling another co-worker, I mean this as a compliment, "You the real gongazla." Looks like she collects dead animals in jars. Still my favorite compliment. I have been on the receiving end of this compliment as well. And, fun fact, I do. It wasn't really a weird compliment, just a really weird delivery. This girl came up to me and told me to look straight forward, stared into one of my eyes for like 2 minutes and said, "Nice." She was just judging your very soul. No worries. Your butt is really toned, like buns of steel, bro. That was from my older cousin a few years ago when she randomly slapped my butt thinking I was her boyfriend walking out of the kitchen. Still kinda creeps me out. She did apologize after she realized her mistake, but her compliment right after made it way weirder. My sister's friend told me I had the sense of humor of an old man on his deathbed who was upset because he couldn't find his ex-wife to tell her to FCK off one last time. This is officially my favorite, and now I wish I knew you both. I've been told that I have exceptionally smooth balls, like 2 hard-boiled eggs in a balloon full of downy fabric softener. Drunkenly met a guy at a bar. He leaned over, smelled my hair, and with excitement in his eyes told me, "You smell like a Swedish meadow." On the 3rd date he told me, "You got some wood chopping shoulders." Like, dang girl, if it's the dead of winter and wood needs to be chopped, I'm calling you. We've now been dating over a year and a half. My girlfriend said that the first thing she noticed about me were my hands. That was 4 years ago and she still reminds me to this day how much she liked them. I guess being a guitarist with pianist hands are its perks. Someone told me that they liked talking to me because I made them use their whole brain. I dunno. It's weird, but it was nice to hear. I went shopping for a friend while he did a favor for me. It was later at night, and I had parked far away-ish in the parking lot. There were a few other shoppers and a woman was following me out after I had checked out. There was a car parked next to mine in a basically empty lot, and I thought, wouldn't it be funny if this lady had parked next to me? With all these empty spots, and lo, she had. I had pulled through so our driver's sides were next to each other. I load my trunk up with groceries and start to get in, but the lady stops me. I am 21, 6 feet, very long, luscious curly at the time, and pushed up against my car by a lady who could be my grandma. She grabs a lock of my hair, pushes up against me and says women would kill for this hair. All I could say was I know. Thanks, got in my car and left promptly. You must have been invited to this conference because you're so pretty. At a particle physics conference organized by my alma mater which invited a few alumni, said to me by a physics Nobel laureate. Thanks dude. Stay classy. So far, this is the only one I've read that has made me angry. This isn't going to immediately sound weird, but a very friendly woman who I'd never talked to before from church told me I had a really nice smile. Every single time she saw me she would enthusiastically demand I smiled for her, not in a creepy hey baby gimme a smile way, a genuinely kind-hearted way. Thing is, I have terrible teeth. I have an absolutely massive overbite and my front teeth are fairly crooked and they're all coffee stained and a bit chipped. I've been self-conscious of my smile my whole life. I wonder if she complimented me for that reason, or if it was genuine. She has since passed away unfortunately. She was young too, so I can't exactly ask her. I don't even remember her name, but I don't think I'll ever forget her. Thank you for all your nice comments. Y'all are wholesome. One time a gay co-worker told me I have very expressive eyebrows for a straight man. That compliment has stuck with me for years. He then said that my hands look like Subway flatbreads. I'm not sure how to take that one. Went on a blind date with this guy who's a friend of a friend. He spent the night mostly talking about how nice my top made my boobs look. Yeah, that was the first and last time I saw him. Found out my teachers in high school used to describe me as the one with the knees. I always wore a miniskirt. Also had an elderly patient give me a hug and say you're built real nice. Someone told me I give the best hugs. This compliment doesn't seem out of the ordinary, but just the fact that I'm skinny and when someone hugs me they semi-crunch my organs. So they just be hugging some bones tbh. Mine's that I look like a Tim Burton character. At least, I thought it was a compliment because I like Tim Burton's work, but now that I think, all of his characters are undead. Not all of them, they are just super tall and skinny. Had to take a Greyhound out of Phoenix. It was delayed and while I was standing by the charging station the lady asked where I was from. I told her my hometown and she was like they make some fine frickin' booty there. Girl you're thick. I was flustered and flattered. Friend reminded me of another, probably better one. Your hands are so tiny. They are cute like a capuchin monkeys. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.